All right, so top 5 books. Just gonna run them down. Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, that talks about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. That's one of my top 5s. Shit, I said one of my top 5s. That's one book in my top 5. 2 is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, where you learn that you're not special. 3 is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. He's he knows his finances, man. He owns so much property and stuff like that. Kind of educated me on the aspect of money, how to pay yourself first when you get paid. You know what I'm saying? So that you're able to save, all of that good stuff. And next book, 4th would be 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. It's another good book. He goes into detail, just like throughout history, the ways of capitalizing or even deceiving others for the use of power. You know what I'm saying? For the use of power. Even 50 Cent did like the 50th law, I think, or something like that. Yeah, he did the 50th law recently. That's a good book too, with his additions onto that. And 50's got a good book too, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. That's one to check out, but that's not in my top 5. It may be in top 10, but it's not in top 5. And last but not least, 4 Agreements. 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Of course, the 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't assume, and always do your best. That's a book that I recommend everybody to read, because it can alleviate a lot of miscommunication, especially in relationships, your friends, things on the job and stuff like that. It'll definitely help you guys, and it helps me, of course, just sort through life and try to figure out shit and realize, not to take things so personal. You know what I'm saying? Half the time, the shit that people are coming at you with is how they feel about themselves, and they're trying to project their insecurities onto you. And you gotta block that shit like with quickness. But so for that, we'll go again. Mindset, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, 48 Laws of Power, and the 4 Agreements. All right, so top 5 all-time video games, just from childhood. I'll get top 5 of that. 1, I gotta say Monopoly. Monopoly on Nintendo. A lot of battles. First time I played that was when me and my cousin Richard, we went to Blockbuster when they were popping. We were little and we played that game. And then once I got older, I started playing it with one of my best friends, Jeff, and he would cheat. He would manipulate his girlfriend, now wife, Sugar Booger, pretty much Karumbe and Sugar Booger. Yeah, I used to play Monopoly with them, so that's number 1. 2, GoldenEye. That's the family game. Like, if you had gamers in the family, that's what the fuck we played. Me and my cousins, we would just go at it until like literally 4 in the morning at my grandma's house, playing GoldenEye and other, like wrestling games, like, WrestleMania 2000, Revenge, No Mercy, like all those games. We were really big on them joints. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That's another family game that we would always play. I always prefer to play with you or Ken. Yeah, because motherfuckers say Ryu. The real how to pronounce it is you. You can check that shit if you want to. The motherfucker's name is you. But yeah, play Street Fighter 2 Turbo on Super Nintendo. GoldenEye, of course, was Nintendo 64. Super Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo. Any guy that was, grew up in that era, understood that probably is by far the best football game known to man that is still high in playability to this day. Of course, I ran with around my Niners. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a 49er fan to this very day, whether we win, whether we lose. My cousin used to play with the Bills and run Thurman Thomas through our motherfucking ass. And then the last but not least, on Super Nintendo, Super Tecmo NBA Basketball. That's another game that I used to, again, all these games I played with family, my cousins and stuff like that. We were really big gamers at the time. I mean, there's some of us are still somewhat still gamers. Now I only play hockey. I play NHL, whatever the year is. My boy Bobby taught me how to play that shit, and now I'm just hooked on it. But yeah, it's a great game. Great game. I love that. So running back down the list of games: Monopoly, Super Tecmo NBA Basketball, Super Tecmo Bowl, GoldenEye, and Street Fighter 2 Turbo. 5 classic games that I grew up playing in my childhood. All right, top 5 foods in my diet right now. Grapefruit. I stay with grapefruit. Fiber, of course. Spinach. I have a lot of spinach. Salmon. Yes, not salmon, but salmon. Good with omega 3s, and that shit awesome, man. You get that with like some teriyaki sauce, or you grill. I haven't had a chance to grill it, but my boy been telling me about grilling it for work, so I'm gonna have to check that out. So I got grapefruit, spinach, salmon. Let's see what else. Oatmeal. I have oatmeal. You commonly have it right when I go out the door for work. So that's plain oatmeal, no sugar shit in it. I'll heat that up with cinnamon, ground cinnamon, with some blueberries, wild blueberries for that matter, that have more antioxidants. And then I'll have a little bit of honey for like a sweetener, and shrimp. Want to say that? Shrimp, yes, and that's it. Fucking shrimp. Shrimp will be the last thing, because it doesn't have much fat on it. But so I'll make that with you can saute it with in oil or with onions or what have you. But it's pretty good. So yeah, I'll say grapefruit, spinach, salmon, shrimp, and plain oatmeal, really, with blueberries, wild blueberries, ground cinnamon, and honey. So that's the top 5 for food. Oh man. Top 5 albums of all time from I say childhood to now. Number 1, Off the Wall. I'm one of those people that believe that Off the Wall is better than Thriller. End of story. It ain't nothing else to talk about. You have to listen to it. You can argue amongst yourselves, but fuck all that. Off the Wall is one of my top 5 albums, and it's better than Thriller. Heartbreak by New Edition. Like I said before in early episodes, I wanted to be a New Edition. Heartbreak came out when I was in Cuba, and I was a little Navy brat. You know what I'm saying? Me and my little cousin, Shyla Miles, author Shyla Miles. You know what I'm saying? We would just, I don't know, we would just play Nintendo, Mario Brothers, and we would listen to Heartbreak. We would listen to, we probably heard If It Isn't Love and Can You Stand the Rain? I don't know how many times. But yeah, it's just a great album. That's another one. Confessions is very close to the heart, because that album came out when I was in tech school in the Air Force, back in March of 2004. And of course it was hooked from the single with Lil Jon and Ludacris. Yeah, but Burn, what is this? Superstar. I'll be your groupie, baby. That shit was so dope, man. I love that fucking album. That's, I still sing that shit like in the car, shower, all of that. Yeah, Confessions, dope. Let's see. To Pimp a Butterfly. When I tell you that For Sale is probably one of the best melodies I've heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 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 oh. Kendrick, you did that shit, my man. I love that fucking album, like from top to bottom. And I don't know, man. It's just a great fucking album. And last but not least, the Love Below album by Outkast, Andre 3000's album. It's nothing against Big Boy, but I was more on the creative side of, Andre 3000 when it came to album, like to their works. You know what I'm saying? Like both great artists, respectfully. But like the Love Below, the first time I heard Prototype had me instantly. I was infatuated with that record from the beginning. My brother laughs at me when I say record, but yes, that record, I talk like it's in the 60s and shit, it's on a fucking LP. But yeah, that record is phenomenal. The Love Below, I loved it. I still love it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That one, Vibrate is a great record. And it's just so many of them. She Lives in My Lap. Of course, Hey Ya, but Hey Ya got played the fuck out by radio. If you lived through that time, that shit was played the fuck out. Like, it's too much. Like, you don't even want to hear it so much. They play it on, I think it was on a car commercial now, that I've heard recently within the last months. But that, and then of course, Love Hater, Hater of Love Hater. It was music. I just love music, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me what my top 5 albums of all time is going to be in like 3 months, I might even have something different. That's how much music that I love. But I had to give something for this question. Well, not even a question, just for this, whatever the fuck it is, topic. So we're going to go run it back down. Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. Heartbreak by New Edition. Confessions by Usher. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar, and The Love Below by Outkast. Oh man, a lot of movies. 35 years old, so seen a few movies. But villains, top 5 villains. I'll say no order. Number 1, Tommy DeVito, Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas. Do I amuse you? Do I make you laugh? Yeah, Tommy was raw from the start. Didn't give a fuck. He just said whatever the fuck was on his mind. One can respect that. You live vicariously until you decide to take on that persona yourself. But yeah. He was great. He was great. He really was. Let's see. Second would be Joker in The Dark Knight, not the recent Joker. I saw it. It was straight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say however you feel about it. Comment below, you know what I'm saying, on this video, and say how you felt about the Joker. But it was all right. You know what I'm saying? I like the mental health aspect on it that was interjected with it. But the Joker in The Dark Knight, that was great. I believe that what doesn't kill you makes you stranger. Like, he embodied that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he embodied his role as the Joker. I really did like that. Third, Scar in The Lion King, of course. Life not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king. Like, Scar was that he was fucked up. It's fucked up. He tried to kill his nephew and killed his brother. All for that title. See how insecurities fuck with you? But no, for real. Scar was Jeremy Irons did a great job as Scar. I like you know that new one with my man from Four Brothers. What is it, Victor Sweet and shit that voiced him. I didn't like how they fucked with "Be Prepared" on the song. They turned it into like a march, a chant, or some shit. Like I was expecting them hyenas to get down with Scar. 4, Thanos. Yo, man, listen here. He was calm. It seemed like he was calm like the whole time as he was wreaking havoc on the fucking world. And I really did like, I love what he did. I love what he brought to the Avengers franchise. You know what I'm saying? Josh Brolin played his part out, man. He really did. He was just like, it pains him to do all this, but it's like manifest destiny. And he just did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really did like Avengers. I recently watched Avengers again. Endgame. I have to give it to Charlemagne. He was talking about it on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. And he was talking about how, like, from the time that Hulk snaps his fingers, like, you know, when everybody was coming back and all that, nonstop action. And it was just dope. And last but not least, Cersei from Game of Thrones. Now, I got put on Game of Thrones by an ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? She used to talk about it all the time. Was like crazy about Game of Thrones. And I tried to watch it by myself before then, but I don't know. I just kind of left it alone. But then it was that last season coming up, and I was like, you know what? I guess I'm gonna try to watch this shit. So I ended up binge watching it, and I was like, oh, I get why they like this show. But Cersei's was like Cersei, she was raw, yo. Definitely raw, man. And she made you hate her. Her and her fucking son, the Prince King, whatever the fuck he was. I forgot his name. I'm not that. As you can see, I'm not one of them big Game of Throners or whatever the fucking term is called for people who watch that show like all the time. But it was, but what she did, man, like she made you hate her. She really did make you hate her. So running back down my 5 villains, Tommy DeVito, the Joker, Dark Knight, Heath Ledger, rest in peace, man. Scar, Thanos, and Cersei's.